you doing? Ogling the Welsh countryside. Come on. There's whistles to be watched. Hurry up. You see, there's plenty to talk about. The Rugby Championship action from the weekend, the Gallagher Premiership is back, and also the top 14 is back in full action as well. Before that, I've got to go and feed the cows, and then I'll be back to answer more of your Emirates fans questions. Right, loads of Emirates fans questions this week, so let's have a look at them. And the first one is from Asman, loving the vids. Question for your next video: what is the funniest retort you got to one of your decisions from a player? Oh, now then. I think the funniest one was when I blew up for a knock-on in a Cardiff Blues Ospreys game, and Gethin Jenkins said to me, "That wasn't forward, Nigel." I said, "Yes, it was. Just look at the screen." When we both looked at the screen, he was right. It wasn't forward. And he went to me, what are you going to do now then? I said, "Sorry boys, wasn't a knock on, my mistake, scrum, opposition ball." I thought that was quite funny. Not at the time. Dan Griff 12 asks, how much feedback do you get from refereeing bodies as to whether you refed well or poorly? I'm guessing you sit down with other refs and self-evaluate. Does anyone else get involved? Right, this is how the system works. So there are different systems in each different country. So for example, if you referee in Wales, the Welsh Rugby Union referee manager and the coaches that he has working with him will obviously be looking at your performances and giving you feedback. Pro 14, you'll have a Pro 14 referee manager, plus the managers of the countries. And then Europe, you have a European referee manager. And then World Rugby, you have Joel Jute then, and the selectors that he has. So then, after the game, you'll do a self-review of how you felt you did. The performance review will do the same, and you should be not far off then on the same page. And then obviously feedback will come then from those governing bodies. And obviously then, with your assistant referees and your TMO, you'll also go through those things with your team on the day. And then every so often, you've got referee camps where you'll discuss certain areas of the game. So the feedback is pretty thorough. Also as well, you have the coaches. The coaches will feed back then to the governing bodies or the referee manager on what his view of the referee's performance was. So it is a pretty thorough review system. Holy Stromboli, please settle a dispute in our house. Should the final penalty in the South Africa Wallabies game have been disallowed due to it taking more than 60 seconds from the time they made the decision from taking the shot at goal to the time that Cooper took the kick? Now then, the law says that you have 60 seconds to take the penalty from when you receive the kick in tee. It is 60 seconds from then. So it's not really 60 seconds from when you point to the post. It's when the kick in tee gets to you, you have 60 seconds. Now there shouldn't be any delay in the kick in tee. If the kick in tee is really slow coming to you because they deliberately maybe want to waste time, then that is wasting time, and that would be an offence. The offence for wasting time is a free kick. Once the referee acknowledges, right, minute starts now, if the player hasn't kicked that within that 60 seconds or on that 60 seconds, then the law says the kick should be void. It will be scrummed down to the opposition team. There you are, some great questions there as ever. Make sure you keep them coming in, and I'll answer some more of your Emirates fan questions next week. Right, time for Whistle Watch. Now then, what about the Wallabies, eh? Back-to-back wins of the world champions South Africa. Dave Rennie's first back-to-back wins as their coach as well. And what about New Zealand? Back to the top of the world rankings after their defeat of Argentina. Okay, so the Faf De Klerk yellow card, Australia against South Africa. Now this is a very interesting one. If Faf De Klerk is on his feet and is bound in the ruck, this means that he's not offside. As long as he stays bound there until the ruck ends, then he's not offside. So in this incident, let's look at that bit first. When the ball is lifted off the ground, Faf De Klerk is onside. Or what he can't do next is he can't dive over, and also as well what he can't do is deliberately knock that ball on. What he can do, he can take the arm of the opposition player, or he can try and knock the ball back. If he knocks the ball back and the ball goes backwards, because he was onside and on his feet, it's play on. If he knocks the arm of the player, which means he hasn't touched the ball, as long as he was on his feet and onside and bound to the ruck, which he was before the ball came out, then it's play on. So in this instance here, the Faf De Klerk yellow card was not correct. Right, a lot of cards in this Australia-South Africa game. A lot of things happening, but very exciting game. Lockie Swinton yellow card. Although I would say that the yellow card is probably the correct outcome here, he is very lucky it's not the red, because when you go in upright like that and you run the risk of making contact with the opposition's player head, you are in trouble. His saving grace here is that they were shoulder-to-shoulder contact first, then head-on-head contact, and the referee or the TMO deemed that to be sufficient enough to warrant to give a yellow card instead of a red card, and that he was trying to get an arm up as he was making contact. And then we move on to the end of the game, a couple of minutes before the end. Jasper Wee's yellow card when he comes in to clear out. Now, for me, I think this should be a red card, because the penalty has been given, the whistle has gone, he comes in with the shoulder, makes direct contact ahead. The fact that he has a hand on the ball when the shoulder then makes contact with the head is irrelevant, because to me, he's still leading with that shoulder. It's an unnecessary action in the clear out. For me, he's very lucky there. That would have been a red card if I was on the field. Maybe your favourite time of the week, certainly not mine. Challenge time. This week, World Rugby have set me the fiendish task of trying to identify what is missing from some iconic rugby images. Now, as you know, as a referee, I had to be observant on the field. So, I should be getting all these right. I doubt it. Let's have a go. Here's the first one. Forward. Where's he kicking from goal? So I would say, I can't see the ball, but I don't know if the ball is supposed to be that close to him. How much of a run up does he have? It's got to be the ball, isn't it? Ah, the ball. Oh, now then. This is the World Cup quarter-final in Cardiff between France and New Zealand. So what is missing here then? I got it. My watch. Now this is a moment every Welshman enjoyed. England winning the World Cup. I would say that is missing, obviously, is Clive Woodward's hair. Oh, no, sorry, he didn't have that. The World Cup. Hey, I'm doing well here, I'm doing well. Sure, this is Ellis Park, isn't it? So what is missing here then? Should this be something on top of the post, should there? Ah, wait a minute now. Is this the World Cup final in 1995? Yes. So I reckon the thing that's missing is that big jumbo jet that is flying low over it. Oh! Oh, this was the third, fourth playoff, wasn't it? Kieran Reid headband on his head, did he? That's it, yes. Oh, I am doing well. Ah, yes. I think this is my last European match and my last European final, which was Exeter against Racing. And because of the COVID restrictions, you had to go up and get the medals without anybody handing... Oh no, did somebody hand them to it? That's what's missing. There's nobody handing us the medals. Okay, I got that one wrong. This, the cup. The European Cup was on that next one. Damn. Should have seen that. And the last one. Now, this is the best stadium in the world. The Principality Stadium. And what... Oh. The posts are there. Ah, I've got it. The big screen's not there. Well, I gotta say, I was quite impressed with myself there. Anyway, you're not getting off with it. Here's a couple for you to have a go at, and let me know in the comments below what your answers are. Good luck. And that's me done for another week. The rugby world put to right again. Hey, I hope you enjoyed. Join us next week. And remember, if anything catches your eye in the rugby world, put it down in the comments below or send it in on your Emirates Fans question. See you next week.